I don't know many other bands that have this effect on me. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in today's video I am going to be reacting to New Bermuda, the third studio album from the black metal band Deafheaven. Deafheaven is a band I'm pretty new to, but I have been really getting into their music lately. I recently heard Sunbather, their second studio album, for the first time and absolutely loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. And I've also heard their newest album to date, Infinite Granite, which came out earlier this year. I thought that one was really good too, just had an interesting kind of more melodic side to it. But after hearing those two albums, I'm just really curious to hear what the other three Deafheaven albums sound like and kind of the different directions they go in with their music. So yeah, I picked New Bermuda for my next Deafheaven reaction, and yeah, I'm just really curious to see what this album sounds like. Alright, so it looks like for New Bermuda, Deafheaven went with the long track format, so it's only 5 tracks, but they're all like 8, 9, 10 minutes in length. We have track 1, Brought to the Water. Some church bells, it sounds like. Definitely reminds me of Sunbather here, more than Infinite Granite. They're kind of going in the more intense black metal direction. Okay, I like the guitar. This is a little bit different than Sunbather. It's more traditional metal sounding. Sunbather sounded more shoegazy black metal. I just love with Deafheaven how you really can't understand the lyrics, but you don't really need to. I just love how he uses his voice as an instrument so much with this band. Yeah, there's a little bit, I want to say almost grooviness or punchiness more to the sound of this first track, comparing it to Sunbather. Sunbather, I think, is a little more gradual with the buildup of the sound. I love that guitar. It's just a little bit different. It makes this album stand out a little bit. Nice little melodic bit here. Deafheaven just brings so much emotion to their music. It really is just an experience to listen to their albums. There's still a minute left of this track, but I was gonna say it was fading out, and now we've got some piano. Track 1, Brought to the Water. I loved that track. That one was awesome. Definitely based on that first track, I would say comparing New Bermuda to Sunbather, there's a lot of similarities. There's definitely still incorporating like all of those just moments that build up into an explosion of sound, but they're kind of infusing a little bit more of a traditional rock sound on this one, I think. Sunbather, it kind of, to me, it sounded a little bit more shoegazy, like the buildup was almost more gradual. And then on this first track, I loved the infusion of that guitar. That was really cool. It kind of made it have a different sound compared to Sunbather. And then with the piano at the end too, again, they're kind of doing that whole back and forth between intense black metal sound and then like a super melodic side to their music. Okay, and up next we have track 2, which is called Luna. I love this guitar that they're putting on this album. It just gives it so much punchiness, which is awesome. I'm kind of noticing too on Sunbather, they would kind of start a lot of their tracks off on the more restrained end and gradually build them up as the track progressed. And on New Bermuda, they're kind of going all out right from the start. That was awesome. I love the guitar that they're doing on this album. I love that part of the song. Continuing on my whole theme of elements, I said that Sunbather was like the fire, Infinite Granite was kind of like the water or the waves. This album to me is more the air. It's kind of like all over the place, but in a fantastic way. They're just kind of like throwing things on here left and right, and it works great. It's so fun to listen to. I love these percussion heavy parts to Deafheaven's tracks. They just bring so much intensity to the sound. I just don't know what it is about Deafheaven's music. They always just have this impact on me. By the end of the tracks, they just blow me away. I don't know many other bands that have this effect on me, just completely awestruck by the sound and the way I feel listening to the music. And again, just total cohesion between this really melodic, soft section and then crazy intense black metal rock sounds. Somehow they blend those two seamlessly. That was track 2, Luna. Dare I say, that might be my favorite Deafheaven track so far from all 3 albums that I've heard. That one was fantastic. Just Deafheaven being the amazing band that they are in creating these really, really layered tracks that just build up amazingly. They had the really melodic parts and then the black metal parts with tons of percussion going on and intensity. Then they infused some of that guitar on there. The first roughly half of that track was actually just really fun and entertaining to listen to with that guitar that they threw in and lots of energy going on. And then the second half of that track, it got really emotional for me listening to it. Yeah, just an absolutely captivating track. That one was fantastic. Okay, and then moving on to track 3, we have Baby Blue. Let's see if this one is just as amazing as that last track. Yeah, there is. There's almost an airy feeling to this album, kind of a lightness to it. Yeah, this one's definitely starting out a little bit differently, more melodic. I'm curious to see when they're gonna start injecting some more intensity into this track, or maybe they won't. I'm waiting for something here. I know it's coming. They're doing the build-up very slowly. This track is definitely reminding me more of Infinite Granite, a slightly softer, more melodic side to their sound. Until that moment. I love the guitar on this album. It's just a different sound for Deafheaven. They haven't done this on the other 2 albums I've heard, and it makes this one really stand out. There's more of those rock elements going on now. It's such a groovy album at times. I think for that reason it almost has a more accessible sound than Sunbather or Infinite Granite. Those two albums I think might be a little bit denser to get into. I feel like this album is just fun to listen to. I'll be honest, I was a little unsure of this track at the start with such a melodic beginning that went on for a couple minutes. It's definitely grown on me. This one is very entertaining to listen to. And again, we're having a fade out with a minute and a half left of the track. Yeah, this is kind of like the track Windows from Sunbather. Very ambient, someone talking. George Washington Bridge. Track 3, Baby Blue. That was a really interesting one. Like I said at the start, I was a little unsure of it just because the melodic part lasted so long. But then when they finally brought that energy, it grew on me immensely. And then that last minute, we kind of got some ambient, very atmospheric, low-key sounds going on. Interesting track for sure. They're kind of doing that whole Sunbather thing with long track, shorter interlude, long track, shorter interlude, only they're putting the shorter interludes at the end of the tracks on this album. So instead we just have 5 long tracks instead of having those shorter ones in between. All right, moving on. Track 4, we have Come Back. So far starting off like that last track, very restrained. There it is. I always bring this up. I do, but that percussion though. I love the really growly vocals paired with that guitar. It works really well. All right, here they go again. They're bringing back that melodic part. There's such a rich sound to this album. Like it's got a very warm, smooth, kind of enveloping sound to it. Wow, this part all of a sudden just really reminded me of Beach House, actually. Kind of shoegazy a little bit. Very laid back, warm, beachy sounding. I love how this track just brought the intensity, and then this last little bit is just so relaxing. It's giving the listener like a little break from all of that intensity that happened a couple minutes ago. Track 4, Come Back. I loved how it started so melodic and ended so melodic, and then the middle chunk was just all out crazy, just Deafheaven doing what they do best with all the percussion and the growly vocals and everything. Great dynamics going on there, and again, just sonically a really cool track to listen to. Okay, and moving on to track 5, the final track on New Bermuda, we have Gifts for the Earth. Yeah, so track 4, Come Back, kind of just flowed right into this last track. It's kind of keeping that same really warm acoustic tone to it. This is interesting. You have the vocals, which are typically paired with the intense percussive heavy parts, but they're introducing the vocals on the melodic bit here. Is such a great rock edge to this album that just works really well with their sound. Okay, and then the track's starting to open up into their black metal sound, I guess you'd say. More expansive sounding. Then we just got acoustic guitar, piano, and what is that, a tambourine? And that's it, just finishing out this track on a very melodic note. That was track 5, Gifts for the Earth. I loved that one. That was a fantastic track, a great closer to the album, I thought. Again, fusing kind of some warmer acoustic notes and piano and acoustic guitar with their more percussive, heavy, loud, expansive sounding, shoegazy black metal style. And again, I like how they incorporated the vocals with the warmer acoustic parts toward the beginning of that track. Kind of an interesting switch up. It worked really well. Alright, so that is going to conclude my reaction to New Bermuda, the third studio album from the band Deafheaven. Frankly, this album for me is a 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it from start to finish. I was a little bit worried going into this album because it was the follow-up to their second studio album, Sunbather, which blew me away. And the fact that they pulled off an album like New Bermuda after releasing Sunbather is very impressive. I thought New Bermuda was fantastic. It embraced a slightly more rock sound with all that guitar going on. Right now, if you had me pick between Sunbather and New Bermuda, I don't know if I could actually pick a favorite. They're pretty much dead even for me for different reasons. Sunbather, though, is just emotionally such an impactful album. That's not to say New Bermuda isn't emotionally impactful though. In fact, the track Luna blew my mind. That one was amazing, and like I said, it might be my favorite Deafheaven track ever off of the 3 albums that I've heard, and I am really looking forward to hearing their first album, Roads to Judah, and their 4th album, Ordinary Corrupt Human Love. I am very intrigued to hear what those 2 sound like. But yeah, definitely let me know down in the comments what you think of New Bermuda, and as usual, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.